Creating custom keychains like these is really easy. Let me show you how. First, we are going to set up our print files in Adobe Illustrator. For this example, I have created a surfboard design with 6 layers. The SureColor V7000 prints one color, one white, and one varnish layer at the same time. Since my artwork has a few more layers, I'm going to save it in 3 separate print files and then print those 3 files on top of each other. Looking at the layers window, starting from the bottom, we have layer 1, which is a color layer. It is the design for the backside of the keychains. Then we have layer number 2, which is a white layer. Next is layer number 3, which is a color layer consisting of just black. Layer number 4 is another white layer. The reason for adding a black layer between 2 white layers is to achieve a maximum opacity, so when we hold a keychain against the light, the other layers don't shine through from the other side. The 5th layer is a color layer, which is the design for the front side of the keychain. And layer number 6 is a varnish layer to add some highlights and shiny texture to the keychain. Lastly, we have the layer Cut Contour, which is a cutting path for the router cutter. Check with your router cutter which file format it supports and save this layer as a separate file to load it later into your router cutter software. Next, we are going to save the layers in 3 separate print files. As mentioned earlier, the SureColor V7000 can print 3 layers at the same time. 1 color layer, 1 white layer, and 1 varnish layer. Save your print files accordingly. In my example, I am saving layer 1 and 2 in one file, layer number 3 in one file, and layer number 4, 5, and 6 in another separate file. Save the files as Adobe PDF and under Preset select High Quality Print. Next, open Epson Edge Print RIP software and click on the Add button to open the print files. For each of the 3 files, click on the basic settings in the right navigation and select the Media, Print Quality and Input Resolution. After you're done with the settings, click on the Print button on the top navigation bar to rip the print file and send it to the printer. Do this for all 3 print files. Next, place your acrylic sheet on the printer. You can use the registration pins to easily align it on the flatbed. Turn on the vacuum suction by pressing the vacuum button on the front of the printer. Remove the protective film from the top side of the acrylic sheet and wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol to remove any dust and fingerprints from the surface. The isopropyl alcohol also helps with reducing static on the acrylic. Next, go to the computer and open the UV Controller app. Your print files should be in the print task list on the left side of the window. Next, measure the height of your acrylic, then set the X and Y margins at what position the printer will start printing. In my case, I'm starting at 0, 0. Select for Y print direction forward, and finally click on the print button on the left side of the top navigation. The SureColor V7000 will print file 1, which consists of a color layer and a white layer on top. After the print is completed, keep all settings in the UV Controller app as is and print file number 2, which is just a black layer. After the second print is completed, select in the UV Controller app for Y print direction backwards and print file number 3. This file consists of a white layer, a color layer, and a varnish layer. Once the third print is completed, turn off the vacuum suction and take the acrylic sheet from the printer and bring it to your router cutter for final cutting. Now we just need to add a chain and a ring, and the result are these beautiful keychains printed on clear acrylic with 6 layers on the SureColor V7000 UV LED flatbed.